I've always enjoyed the challenge of taking a digital layout and turning it into paper. And Off the Board with Pineapple Papers each month offers me the opportunity to do this. So this time round I've chosen this layout here from Digi Brookside, and I'm going to create it in paper. Isn't it gorgeous? I just love how that looks. And so I'm using some leftovers from my sticker down layout that you saw previously this week, and I'm going to create that layout, well, try to recreate it in paper. Now I am creating, as always, my 1-inch border in black because I want it to lift off the edge. I do love the grungy feel of that Digi layout, and so I'm going to try and redo it with the inks as well. So this one here is that paper that you saw on the tilted edge. So I'm just going to ink up the edges with my scorched timber to give it that smoky, grungy, vintagey feel to it, and that will help to define it against that background. Now this paper range is from Poppy Crafts at Craft Online, and I really do love the colors in this collection, and the paper is such quality. It's a good thickness to work with, and I really do like it. Now the reason you saw me trace around there is because I'm going to add in some mixed media just as it is on the digital layout. So I'm just going to smatter some hearts around the outside where that paper is going to sit, and that's going to create that extra layer of texture or interest for the layout. I'm also going to add some onto this layout, and I'm using a Scrap-A-Sketch stencil. No, it's not. It's a Scrapbook Fantasies sketch stencil, and I like the cross-hatching that it has in it, and that's going to work well on this layout. Now, this scorched timber just adds that really you know, that grungy, vintagey feel to a layout. I really like being able to create layouts that use multiple textures and multiple layers to tell the story, and by using this ink, that helps that be processed a little bit more. It's such a shame. Look at all the beautiful pieces on the back of that, but I do have 2 pieces of it, so no doubt that will end up in a layout somewhere. So I'm just lining it back up to where I had drawn the pencil in, and I'm going to trim it down now, so that will give me my base to start working the layout. Now I have used extra pieces from the previous layout, and I am fussy cutting out pieces that look like lace, that are florals, and they're going to be part of the embellishing for this layout. So once I've done that, I'm putting that to the side. I'm also, you can see there that I've got a film strip frame in my die cutting to the side. I was going to put a film strip instead of the frame that she has in her layout, but I ended up building a frame with some leftover wood cardstock paper that was like wood paneling, so that kept it true as well, because I really do, when I scrap lift someone from Pinterest, I really try to stay pretty similar or close to, because I like to pay homage to the person. Obviously I liked the design when I chose it as a favorite, so I really think if I'm going to like it as a favorite, I might as well try and keep it the same. So I try very hard to replicate similar to the original. So I've just used my MK ruler there from Some Assemblies Required to add in my stitching holes. The original looks like a messy running stitch. Now mine doesn't work out as messy, but I do use a broader stitch on this one. Normally I would use a smaller stitch, but I'm using this black thicker thread, and I am threading it through my needle threader there. Now, something I learned recently while doing a sewing workshop, it's important that you thread your needle with the end that you cut from the spool, because that way you'll avoid knotting your thread. Did you know that? Because it's something to do with the way it's wound or the way it's presented or something. But anyway, if you cut it and you use the other end to thread, you'll end up knotting all the time. Whereas if you cut it and thread from the fresh cut, then that is the correct way to thread your needle, apparently. And ever since I've been doing that, it's true, I do not have anywhere near the tangles I was getting before. So that was an interesting little thing I learned when I was doing a Kawindi workshop. So I'm just stitching across the layout, and this is something I don't normally do. I don't normally stitch on camera, but I thought I would today because it's a part of this layout, it's a feature. And I was showing where I'm leaving the loops in just as the original has, but as I said, my stitching is a little bit neater, and but that's okay. It's bigger than I normally do, as you can see on the back, and I'm just threading through so that it will sit flat on the layout and won't be lost. And I'm just going to put a little bit of tape over onto that side to hold it in place. And there's my stitching, and I've got the 2 messy loops in it, and I actually like how that looks on the layout. So now to get to the construction. As I said, there's the frame that I made out of wood grain paper. I did put in my beveled corner, and I used the inking from the scorched timber to really make that stand out. So this photo is of my daughter and her husband. We were in Katoomba at sunset in January. It was a coolish evening. Unfortunately, January was a weird time this year in Australia. We had hot days with cold nights, which is very unusual. And we were up there exploring through the canyons and walking through the walkways at night time that night. So I thought, as the sun is setting behind them, I took this photo, and I'm just scrapping it for their album for this year. So I've just added in a vellum circle there that you can see, and I play with this circle a few times, and then I realized, no, I don't want that floral there. I actually need that floral over to the side of the photo. So that means I have to move the circle again. And you watch me, I'll play with this a bit, and then I realize, no, I don't want it there. That's not where I want it. And I'm moving this back down again, and I'm going to tuck that floral there in the corner. So that is out of one of the scrap pieces of paper. I've also cut some blue florals from a paper rose paper that I had in scrap, and I had those chipboard filigree florals there, which I have used weathered wood to stain and give colour to, and I like how they blend beautifully in and create another layer of texture to the layout. I also use my dies to cut florals, and I've layered them up, and they're from the papers, the scrap papers that you saw me cutting with, and around the florals that I've taken out of there. And I'm just building up the layout pretty similar. As I said, I like to stay similar to the original. So this is how it's coming together nicely. I love these florals here. They blend naturally into the layout, and the fact that I've used some chipboard as well, that's giving that extra lift and colour to the page. So I'm just tucking in all of those fussy cut pieces. I'm not popping too much on this one today. I think I do add a bit of foam tape to that floral there, just because I want a little bit of depth, but I haven't got much depth to it because of the chipboard. Now I'm adding up another vellum circle to the top corner here, and that gives me another textured layer to the layout, and I'm just going to build the embellishments into that corner just as the original has. And I really do like this overall effect. Another chipboard layer is going in there with that extra blue floral, and a little bit of a lace fussy cutting that I cut out to continue the whole process from start to finish, as you can see. So just playing around, adding a little bit of extras here and there just to fill up those clusters. I want them to be really bulky like they are on the digital layout. And that little butterfly I've used instead of the bird. So I'm just, as I said, put one foam dot there, and I've popped that floral up, and I'm just going to tuck the other one in. Now over to the top left, you'll see I've got a pile of black die cuts here. That's from the black that was cut out of the middle of my frame, and I'm just going to layer those up to build the height and some extra texture to the clusters. You know, die cuts are really good for that. They're nice and light and very delicate in some cases, which makes a big difference. Here we go. I did tell a lie. I put another pop here on the butterfly. I wanted to stand up off that floral just a little bit. I tucked his legs in behind the flower and then popped up its wings. So these are like an Australian native floral. I think they're called Baronias. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But they are on our roadsides a lot. You'll see them, and they are actually in mauves or blacks. I often see them black, but yeah, you can get them in a mauvey colour, deep purpley colour as well. So they work naturally with the Australian bush behind in the photo, as you can see. And I love how the colours of this layout really make that photo pop. I have all the colours from the photo blended in. The only colours I haven't used really in this layout are the purple colours, and that's fine. I didn't want to bring in another colour to this busy paper as it is. So I'm just stacking up more of these little bushes into the clusters so that they're pretty full and they look more natural on the layout. I really do like that pop of black. It really draws your eye around, and it really makes a big difference. So when you're making your clusters, don't forget that you need height as well as width, and that really helps to make them a feature as opposed to just something added to your page. Now I have these Kaisercraft painted chipboard. They are ancient. I've had them for ages. So I'm starting to go through my stash and use up what I've got, because it's, you know, like we've got so much stuff. We collect it and then we buy it when we think I want it, and then don't use it, and that's such a shame, because there is some really, really clever stuff that was created in the early days of scrapbooking, and there's lots and lots now, as you know, and so it's really important. I'm being very conscious about going through my stash and using it this year. Alright, I found these little black stickers which were perfect. These are old Creative Memories stickers, and I've got just enough letters to write the word happy. Now on the original it looked like a stamped title for the person's name. I was going to stamp a title onto it, but I decided not to. I think I didn't want a big title. I didn't want it to stand out. I just wanted it to blend in just a little bit. So I've used these stickers, and I think that works nicely for this layout. So I'm just seeing if there's anything else I can add before happy, but there's not. I wanted to just put in just so happy, but I didn't have tea, so I left that. And I've just got happy on the title there, which is fine for this layout. I'm going to add in these chipboard buttons now to the side, like the original had two at the top of hers. And then I need to go and find something for the middle of my florals that I cut on my die cuts. And there's 6 of them, so I need to go and check out my button stash, which I do off screen, and I do adhere them to the layout. So you will not see that part, because who wants to see me searching through 1,000 buttons? But I do put it all together in the end, and I'm thinking about what it is. I was going to put some pops of color in the center, but then I realized no, I do need to do a button, and then that adds to the final layout as you can see it right now. I do think this has come together beautifully, and I love the layers and the detail that have gone in, and that's always the challenge of taking a digital and making it into paper. So what do you think? Did I get it right? Did I do a good replication of that digital layout? Here it is to see again. What do you think? Does it look like it? That's the original. Here's mine. So thanks again for watching, everybody. There is a full playlist which I'll have listed down below for all the people playing along with Off the Board with Pineapple Papers, Crystal Barrett as we know her, and this is my layout. So hopefully I've done enough to earn a thumbs up from you. I really do appreciate you coming back to watch every single time. Don't forget the hype if you're on a digital device, and if you're new to my channel, I hope you consider subscribing as I'm trying to reach that 1,000 goal this year. Here's my next layout for you. See you there real soon.